I love all kinds of anime, but you've got to admit there's something magical about anime movies specifically. Welcome back to Otaku Daikun. It's time for me to shine the spotlight on some awesome anime movies I've been able to watch recently. The first is Mirai, an amazing work from the director Mamoru Hosoda, the very man who brought us The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Wolf Children. This time round, we're treated to a wholesome tale about a family who's just had a second child. The older brother, Kun, is still a whiny infant, jealous of his new little sister. The mother's stressed out trying to care for the children while having a career, while her husband, a freelancer, takes on the challenge of being a stay-at-home father. This loving family struggles a bit, while Kun copes with these changes by immersing himself into dreamlike fantasies, where he interacts with the family dog, his ancestors, and even his baby sister grown up to be a middle schooler. I kind of feel tempted to describe the movie as a modern My Neighbor Totoro, in that we're able to experience life and learning from a child's perspective. It had a limited theater run in the US, so if you missed out, definitely keep an eye out for this one. The next is a film called In This Corner of the World, which you can currently watch on Netflix. It's a tragic yet endearing tale about a young girl's journey growing up and getting married, moving to her new home just as US bombing raids start to pick up during World War II. She experiences the full transition of a peaceful life to one of poverty as military conflicts ravage the countryside. It's a wonderful film that had me laughing and crying, ending on a hopeful, uplifting note. I recommend this as a legendary anime. Beyond that, I've been thinking about anime movies, realizing just how special they are compared to average anime. Of course, I'm not referring to anime series that suddenly get an insert film, like Fullmetal Alchemist, Heaven's Feel, Cowboy Bebop, or Fairy Tail, nor am I talking about anime series that get compiled into films, like Gurren Lagann and Code Geass. Rather, I want to focus on anime that are conceived from the ground up to be feature films. The works of Studio Ghibli and Makoto Shinkai are a prime example. Dare I say there's something magical about these movies that anime shows simply lack. Only in rare instances do we have anime series like Violet Evergarden that rival these cinematic titans. For fun, I'd like to discuss these films and prod at what makes them so special. The first thing to get out of the way is budget. Movies are both shorter and have larger budgets than their televised counterparts. No doubt, animation is something that often improves with more funding. It allows studios to have more key animations and smoother in-betweens. It allows them access to fully orchestrated music, as well as top-tier acting. Oftentimes, these films are made carefully. They're artists at the pinnacle of their craft, refining all the techniques available to them. That said, I don't necessarily think the magic lies in the money. Looking back on Makoto Shinkai's earlier works, namely Voices of a Distant Star, we can see there was a vision to his films that he was able to convey without a massive budget. The spirit of independent short films seems to be reflected in their larger, more expensive counterparts. So maybe it's less the budget and more the specific directors. Face it, movies are a massive collaborative effort. Realistically, the success or failure of a movie relies on much more than the work of one or two people. Regardless, we often find ourselves attributing credit for a movie's greatness to its director. Furthermore, we have in filmmaking the idea of an auteur, an artist whose work has a distinct feel and style. Maybe anime movies are special because they allow passionate artists to imprint their sensibilities onto them. Clearly, the most prolific and profound anime auteur is Hayao Miyazaki. While he obviously doesn't make his movies by himself, it's clear that the staff of Studio Ghibli do their best to bring his vision to life, to imitate his style on a grand scale. For the longest time, you could watch a Studio Ghibli film and just feel Miyazaki's presence deep at its roots. When the studio began creating films directed by his pupils, even though said films looked very similar, you could argue they were missing something, or at the very least, going in a new direction. Oddly enough though, I don't think the magic of Miyazaki's movies can be completely attributed to his penchant for drawing old ladies that transform into other creatures, and whatever whimsical stuff he comes up with. Perhaps then, it's the subject matter. Have you noticed that some of the best anime movies tell stories that tug at our hearts, that tackle significant world issues, or explore the true value of life? Even in some of the most fantastical movies, like Castle in the Sky, the root subject tends to revolve around themes of nature and humanity. Voices of a Distant Star, 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words, Your Name, all of these films deal with the separation of lovers, be it through time, distance, or circumstance. Sometimes lovers only meet for a brief yet beautiful moment before they're pulled apart and forced to move on. Each of Makoto Shinkai's films can be seen as a variation on this idea. In the case of Mamoru Hosoda, we're dealing with issues of family closeness and the sacrifices made to keep a family together. In Summer Wars, a large family teams up to essentially save the world, and in Wolf Children, a single mother has to completely change her way of living to accommodate her kids. These dramas tend to be more insightful than a boob-filled ecchi fest, granting them a much broader audience in general. That said, however, there are plenty of anime shows that address meaningful topics too, so maybe the magic lies in the format. By nature, narrative in movies is more restricted than it is in TV. You've got a limited run in which you absolutely have to go through the basics of developing characters, introduce a conflict, and reach a resolution. That alone sets an anime movie apart from hundreds of unfinished anime and manga. An anime made for the big screen is often conceived as a single thought or idea, rather than a complex chain of different ideas. Thus, films tend to be more focused and densely packed with content. Story beats, emotions, development, these things often have to be conveyed using everything films got between writing, soundtrack, and visuals. At any given moment, an anime movie may be conveying multiple types of information all at once. By the end, however, the limited runtime often restrains a film too much, forcing only certain kinds of stories to be compatible. There's a wonderful experience to be had in watching a long show that movies can't provide. Well, shoot. I feel just as inquisitive as when I started. The magic of anime movies can be truly difficult to analyze, and it appears there's more than just one answer. Do you agree with me that anime movies have special qualities that separate them from their episodic brethren? If so, how would you describe it? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe to Otaku Daikun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, live streams, and the Holy Waifu Wars. If you're interested in seeing this channel grow, please consider becoming a patron or donating in a super chat during any of my weekly live streams. Also, feel free to check the description for my social media profiles, including an ever-growing Discord full of fans of anime and the Fate series. Until next time, celebrate your fandom!